In this episode, we're going to take a look at an announcement that Matt dropped into Discord today that plays into the fallout or the overall immediate outcome of what's happening to everyone after the ranked battle changes. If you're interested in this, please stand by. Welcome back, all you Splinterheads. Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate your time. This is going to be an update about a message that Matt dropped into Discord today, and it's really about some of the fallout or the immediate impact of what the ranked battle changes has wrought upon play in Splinterlands. Before we get into it, if you enjoy this kind of content, please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Also, in my show notes below, I will have a list of all YouTubers that I know of that are covering Splinterlands. Okay, so the goal here is to get out and support all the Splinterlands YouTubers. And there's one guy on there, Buns, Bags, and Caps, that's over on Twitch. Support these people, like, subscribe, comment on their videos so we can get Splinterlands, the topic, raised in the YouTube algorithm. That's the whole goal. And the more people we get subscribed to all these channels, the more comments, the more likes, the more shares on social media, the better for Splinterlands, I would think. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, there's kind of two sides to this story that's been ongoing. The first side, since the ranked battle changes, right? The first side, and I think we knew about this, however, I think some people just didn't really maybe think it through enough. But one of the fallouts and one of the changes that, Matt right up front in the initial explanation of what was going to happen indicated that it was going to take a season or two for the levels of players playing each other to kind of even out, okay? We're in this period right now where you are having mismatches. Overall, I can say playing in gold, high gold 1, and like tipping into diamond and going back and forth, I play, maybe 1 out of 10 players I've been playing will be an overmatched against me. In other words, a high-level diamond or a champ deck I'm playing. Otherwise, it's been pretty average as far as what I've seen in the past. But with that said, there's been lots of reports out there for people playing in bronze and silver where they're meeting up against overmatched decks. And what this really comes down to is these higher end decks have not worked their way up yet for one reason or another. Okay, so it could be a guy that had a champ level deck and he just hasn't played for a couple months and he's working his way back up through bronze and silver and gold. That's kind of a one-off. But we're still basically speaking in this period where people who have high-end decks are working their way up, and you basically should see less of that as time goes along. Now, with this new system in place, you're always going to have this one-off type effect of, hey, somebody hasn't played in a while. They're coming back and they're working their way up through the ranks. Or you have a brand new player that came in and invested in a high-level deck and they're working their way up, something like that. But overall, it shouldn't happen for the majority of your matches. It should be very far and few in between once we get through this initial period. Now, this goes into tonight's topic because this is also a side effect of what's been going on. Now, I can speak from what I've seen in gold, and I know that when the initial change happened, okay, so let's step back for a minute. My account, if you don't know, is playing by Archmage in Wild, okay? And I play primarily in gold. Obviously, now that there are no limits, it is tipping over into diamond. But once it gets into diamond, it kind of comes up against some much stronger decks and gets smacked back down. So that's kind of the situation of where my deck is. But my whole point is that my actual earnings per match went up when the change went into effect. Okay. And just to give you a brief example, before the changeover, I was getting like 0.5 SPS per win, and I'm not talking any streaks or anything like that. I was getting like 0.5 SPS per win. Okay. Immediately after the change, I was getting like 0.9 to 1 full SPS per win. This is in Wild. This is in Gold. Okay. Gold 2 and 1, right? So I noticed that. And then a couple days ago, I was doing a video and I referenced, what I was winning. And I noticed that it had gone down to 0.8. Okay. And then after Matt made this announcement today, I looked at it and now I'm down to about 0.7. I didn't really think about it because there's so much randomness to it, I didn't really think about it, but here's his message, and I'll just go ahead and read it so I don't put any words in his mouth, but we can discuss it for a few minutes afterwards. I just wanted to provide some information on the current SPS rewards for ranked battles. The amount of SPS you receive for winning a battle is based on the reward points you got for that battle compared to the total reward points from all battles in the current format over the past 15 days. That determines the percentage of the current reward pool you receive. Since the amount of reward points players are earning has increased significantly as a result of the recent changes, and it's being compared to the total from before the changes took effect, the SPS rewards were very high initially, which drained the pools very quickly, leading to very low SPS rewards for the battles right now and going towards the end of the season. This should naturally work itself out once we get into next season with the ratings reset and when the rewards points is no longer being compared to days before the changes went into effect, and the SPS rewards should over time go back to their normal level. Okay. So this is another thing where we're talking about we have to let things normalize. Okay, so I don't think we're even a full week, if 7-8 days in from the initial change, right? So we're still in a normalization period, and the takeaway I still have is that the matchups will normalize over time. You're always going to have that one-off. Every once in a while, you're going to fight a strong deck. That the idea is that deck is probably just working its way up through the ranks, and you shouldn't face that for too often, because there's really what they're shooting for here is there's really no incentive to keep your deck down now. Okay, obviously the goal from a game perspective is sell more cards, so people now have the objective to buy more cards. But even if you're not going to buy more cards, you should only face overmatched decks once in a while after we get out of this normalization period. And this also comes into play with what he was talking about today as far as the rewards. So initially, the rewards points are being compared to previous levels, and that threw everything off. And right up front, we got a lot more than what we probably should have under the normal, what the new normal is. Okay, so going forward after the next season starts, I think everything should start to normalize. That's the takeaway I got from this. So, and obviously as we go forward with more time under our belt under the new system, the matchmaking should also normalize as well. And once again, you should only hit overmatched decks every once in a while. But, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, this has been Bronze Dragon. I hope your day was pretty good. I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy, and I will see you on the flip side.